was Malcolm X? He was a Muslim, a minister, an African American, a political activist, and a public speaker. But he sparked much controversy because of his beliefs. Some people saw him as a civil rights advocate who expressed the depth of the crimes against African Americans, and he wanted a solution fast.
Malcolm X's birth name was Malcolm Little. He was born in Omaha, Nebraska on May 19, 1925.
In 1946, Malcolm was sentenced to prison for breaking and entering and stealing property.
He was very focused in school and very smart. He graduated junior high, but then dropped out, mainly because a white teacher told him that he was practicing law. His aim at the time was no realistic goal for an African American.
Throughout this time, there was a lot of racial segregation. Many African Americans were sent to jail due to civil rights protests. Police also sent attack dogs and even turned on high-pressure fire hoses on them. Some African Americans were even spit on or beat. These are some of the many reasons Malcolm X did what he did.
The court is now in session.
Calling the case of Malcolm X. Are both sides ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please be seated.
Do you pinky promise to say the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Miss Betty, if you want to present yourself, please do so.
Yes, Your Honor. Malcolm X has been aggressively exposing violence to the people of America. This needs to stop now, Your Honor, or else America as we know will become a country of hate. He claims to do it for the justice of African Americans, but I don't see how violence will get us anywhere. I will expose the true vicious man he is.
Thank you, Miss Betty. Lawyer Acosta, you may now speak on behalf of Mr. X.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen too much discrimination in this world, but this man right here has done and will do everything to end this injustice. Although many see it as him supporting violence, let me tell you there is a purpose, and I will present you without the truth. Your Honor is a rebel, but with a cause. I ask of you to be open-minded to the truth of who really Malcolm is. Now, let me introduce myself. I have fought in many cases trying to end Jim Crow laws. I have stood by some of the most important men in history. For example, Martin Luther King, of course, a very honorable man to no doubt in that I have, but here in my 10 years of being a lawyer, have I seen a man to determined and adamant to change the world. He never stays silent in what he wants, because how can you make the world a better place? By being silent? No, you have to make a noise so everyone around can listen up. How has he impacted society? You may ask. Well, he radical ideas that were different from normal status quo. He has taught us to fight racism. We need to be proactive. And lastly, he has empowered Black power and liberation. Through all of his lifetime, he has been preaching civil and human rights by using teachings from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for every race. His belief were that he needs self-defense in order to be heard. He has taught people that when one tactic doesn't work, use another more aggressive may now. I know what you're thinking. When has this ever worked? Well, when African Americans went under attack, they remained peaceful, but Kennedy did nothing. It was only when they used self-defense then Kennedy finally took action and sent army there. Of course, with self-defense, he also taught many that having pride in your race also is important. When someone is constantly putting you down for your race, you tend to lose your pride. Well, Malcolm has recuperated that people lost pride by empowering them through his speeches. This would forever change the way African Americans see themselves, changing their mindset from negative to positive. So now I leave it to you all to decide whether Malcolm's self-defense ideas and empowered were any good of society.
But Your Honor, how do we know for sure Malcolm X has been changing people's lives?
I agree.
I present to you our witness, Bobby Seale.
I'm Bobby Seale, and on behalf of Malcolm X, I wanted to share how he impacted my life and Black Panther organization. Through Malcolm's words, I have learned to appreciate my skin, my hair, culture, and myself. It has then inspired me to open an organization that is called United African American into the community that sticks together to protect.
Thank you, Mr. Seale. Malcolm, how do you plead?
Okay. When I was a youngster, I witnessed my brother get beat down and harassed for no reason. He was just a newspaper boy trying to do his job. This is when I realized that there was something wrong with our society. Not long after that, I began to experience the brutality of cops and the white man. Every African American I knew was being treated inhumanely. Women, children, and men being tortured, killed, and thrown into jail for only wanting to walk down the streets as a regular human. My name is Malcolm X, and I am a civil rights activist. I know that the media has put dirt on my name and conveyed me as some monster who supports violence, but I'm here today to show you how I have impacted society. My 3 top arguments of how I made this impact is I have taught self-defense, I have challenged America, and I have empowered the Black community. Now let me ask you this. If someone walked up to you with a knife in hand and tried to attack you, would you not want to defend yourself? Or would you stand there peacefully but suffer? That is what I'm trying to teach. One simply cannot get freedom by just standing around and letting the white man torture us any longer. We need to fight back. Martin Luther King's plan of change is taking too long. We need to act now. Let me get your attention to this. The white man calls it violence when African Americans attack, but they don't call it violence when they're sending troops to fight in Vietnam. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, America didn't say, no, let's remain non-violent. They fought back.
Well, we were trying to protect our nation.
That's exactly what we're trying to do too. People of the court, you have to understand why I stand for self-defense. Later on in the future, I will help out other races to do the same and to get the rights they deserve. And I also realized why I'm so controversial, because many people are not used to hearing the truth, so they push it away. The same old ideas are still being used as a solution, and that's no wonder it's not working anymore. We are always evolving as a nation, and our ideas of freedom also need to evolve, which is why my plan is so different from mainstream media. What I mean is that we need to take any means necessary. I know people are afraid of this saying, but all it means is that we will do whatever it takes to defend ourselves. It doesn't necessarily always mean violence, but if we do need it, then it's what will be done. This is how I have changed the way America thinks. Thank you.
Yeah, they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing on me. Yeah. I've been out for freedom, don't start trouble with me. Trying to keep silent is a struggle for me. You gotta fight back is a motto for me. You know self-defense is the answer for freedom. I don't wanna stop for them to miss me. Yeah, I see the things that they wishing on me. I hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story, things were different from me. Malcolm's plan.
I fight back and it's for show. Hey, I got a plan and you know it. Ooh. I finesse on Harlem streets. Finesse. Might go down as GO18. Go. Hey, I go hard on my speeches. Yo. Wait. Let me show America hears it. And still. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing on me. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing on me. Hey. She said, do you love me? I tell it only partly. I only love civil rights movement. I'm sorry. 50 dub, I even got it tatted on me. I'm 32 and I'm changing history. And you know me. Change the way America thinks. Without me, there'd be none free. Imagine if I never met Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm's plan. I've got people to love their skin. Ay, ay. I show them how to live freely. I spoke the truth and they know it. Truth. Ay. I go hard on my speeches. Ay. My go down is GO18. Go. I want America to live freely. Ay. And still. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing on me. Yeah, yeah. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing on me.
This case is dismissed. Court is adjourned.
Okay, so now we see Malcolm X coming out of the courtroom, and there's Christian.
Hey guys, come. Malcolm here. Okay, do you really hate whites? That's the
No.
question.
I do not. See, I look at it this way. We African Americans love people who love us, but if someone's gonna hate on us, we're gonna hate back.
And segregation's wrong, but why separation?
Segregation is wrong because it's not allowing us to be free. But I believe in separation because African Americans should have their own world outside of whites. If they do not accept us, then we should just be separated from them and live freely.
But do you really think you're gonna make a big impact?
Honestly, I do. I feel like my words and action, a plan will soon enough, get to the people's minds and know what is wrong.